Mentally feel like Kobe, I'm like Jokic with the rock. You physically couldn't hold me, I don't care if you push it 40. You can never little bro me. Euro step like Ginobili, from young OG to the OG. From nosebleeds to floor seats, circle stronger than Cuban links. My gold dance, your gold plated. You verse me, now that's a reach. We ready. Who ready? We ready. Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? We ready. Been ready. I waited. My turn. On God. Hell steady. I keep dropping back to back. I keep going if you let me. I've been sitting at the top, looking down at those who left me. Promise I'm not being petty. I'm the one they envy. Brody moving state to state, make $1 million out to send me. Plus I grinded from the start. I was stacking pennies. I might dip like Machiavelli. After the confetti. Who ready? We ready. Who ready? We ready. Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? We ready. Who ready? We ready. Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? Who? We ready. Who?
Hello and good evening everybody, how are we doing? Hope everybody's well and welcome to round 8 here at the AERS Championship. And welcome in, as I said, round 7, absolutely blistering. Texas, what a circuit, what a track. Yes, Grumpy, how's it going, bro? So, yeah, absolutely brilliant last time out. Had a little look at the stewards report. Melvin didn't fare very well in that one, to be honest. Kind of got the brunt of it all. Were a couple of things that were looked at due to improper, invalid reports. So make sure, if you do want to get a report in, make sure you do it properly and go. Hiya, Kai, how's it going? How are we all doing? But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this evening. There is a lad that I've not done comms on for a very long time. Missed him racing, watched him a lot. I've seen him break records, I've seen him win races back to back. I've seen him do the lot, and it's going to be good to see how he fares against these lads. Now it's a totally different ball game to the drivers that he was racing before, and I'm not saying that them guys were slow. They would happily fit in, I think, if they could do the no assist. But yeah, Sam Lewis coming back in the AERT seat tonight. So Sam, great to see you back, brother, and best of luck. But yeah, as we all know, it is Austria. Austria, one of them circuits, definitely going to be a bit of a DRS train here. Let's hope that it's a bit spicy though. We've got people trying to go for moves, not just having that same old DRS train, which does occur because the grid is so close, as we've seen throughout the season so far. I mean, qualifying's been absolutely electric. I think there's only been one qualifying session where we had someone pretty much win it hands down, and I think that was race 1, if I remember back correctly. I think he was about 4 or 5 tenths clear. May have seen bigger, but that's the one that mainly sticks out in memory. But yeah, AERT did have a good outing last week, as well as a lot of other teams, and you'll see in the actual teams championship, I mean, there's only one team that are looking like they're going to be on top and taking the championship here at the end of the season, and that is SCI. They've had an absolutely phenomenal season so far with such brilliant drives from all of the drivers that are in that team. So can somebody upset them here this evening at Austria? Can somebody knock them down a peg or two and really take it to SCI in this final? Oh, no Voller today, so everybody won't be asking to get on board with him and stuff like that. So we might have a bit more of a chilled atmosphere this time round in the race. But yo, yes, Bino, how's it going? How you doing, sir? Welcome in. Hope you're well. But yeah, let's have a little bit of a look at the track info. Let's see what's going on. So the first Grand Prix was held back in 1964. That was at Zeltweg. The track length is 4.326 kilometres, with the lap record being held by Carlos Sainz while he was at McLaren back in 2020, which is a 1 minute 5.9 0.613. Are we going to see the lads crack that tonight? I would pretty much hope so. I think the lads have got it in them. Most pole positions here at the circuit goes to the one and only Max Verstappen, with most wins also going to Max with 4. Pole run to turn 1 breaking point is 233 meters. It's uphill. It's that 90-degree right. It's going to be a tricky one for the guys to navigate under lap 1. It usually is, under the race start, you do see, maybe people tripping over themselves into turn 1. Let's keep our fingers crossed and let's hope not here this evening. Safety car probability around 38%. I mean, I think I'd say the most trickier part in the circuit probably would be sector 2. You can't really be going for overtakes only into I think turn 4's in sector 2. We'll have a look at that in a second. But yeah, I mean, turn 4, then through the S's, down the hill. You can't really, you see people do going for them bold overtakes, and it takes a lot of courage and a lot of skill to be going side by side in some of the parts of this circuit. But yeah, it's quite a low one, 38%. There is quite a bit of runoff space as well in some parts of the track, so that maybe navigates the safety car probability. The virtual safety car probability is around 50%, with your pit stop time loss here at the circuit being 20.3 seconds, and that includes a 2.5 second stationary stop. There are 3 DRS zones in between just 10 corners. It is the fastest circuit time-wise on the grid, like it qualifying. I think we're probably going to see sub 1 minute 3s. I think that would be accomplishable by the lads. I think maybe low 3s, but we'll see. They do surprise me. I mean, the pace of some of these lads have got is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, the DRS zones. So the first one on the lap is obviously between turns 1 and turn 3, then turn 3 and 4, and then it is between turns 10 and turn 1. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a... Just 1 second, people. And then we will have a look at last week's results. And last week's results, you have it on your screen. Callum picking up the fastest lap of the race. Just 1 minute, I have to make it a lot bigger on mine. With Dirk getting P1, Polymac getting a surprising P2. I think Polymac probably surprised himself there with that one. Voller only getting P3 after a pretty decent race, but I think Dirk just had the speed, he had the pace, he had the read of the track last week. Next week, Carnage. Let's hope so. Get a bit of Carnage. I mean, this track could definitely be Carnage as well. I mean, I think we can all agree, especially if you've got people trying to get them extra points for the team. Yeah, so AMS Callum picked up the fastest lap of the race with a 1 minute 33.289, and Dirk picked up pole with a 1 minute 30.043. So absolutely cracking laps from them lads. Obviously, Callum went for it at the end, trying to get the team. I don't know whether they get a point for fastest lap. I don't think Callum was high enough to get the points, but with that, to the teams, and again, I have to blow it up on mine. I do apologise, people. So, I mean, they didn't even need to look at the top because we know SCI are at the top, and they are now, 99 points clear of AMR, and AMR, they're kind of breaking away from BNT. We've got AERT up into 4th now, and that is joint kind of 3rd. Very, very close. Obviously, we've got FRT as well in there with 135. OMB just need a really good result from the lads, outscoring AERT and FRT to drag them right into the mix, as well as BRC. But it's looking a bit, it's not looking the greatest for IRT, as well as AMS and RSC down at the bottom 3. They're less than 100 points for them, so they really have got a lock in at the back end of this season to try and make some moves in that category of teams there. But SCI, they really do need to. IRT scored more than half their total in round one. Ooh, that's not good. But yeah, so there's is everything. But yeah, like I said, really, I'm looking forward to this one. Not seen Sam on circuit for quite some time. It will be genuinely nice to see him back on. As it would be with any other driver that I see. I've spoken to Sam a lot in his early kind of driving days, where it's a young, and I'm sure Sam won't mind me saying this, a bit young, bit hot-headed, just needed to calm down and really lock in and just ignore everybody else out on the circuit. Ignore the chats and stuff like that. And sometimes that's just what you've got to do. I mean, I avoid chats. Don't really like getting involved. I'll say like good words, but I like stuff like that. But if you really do want to just lock in with yourself and drive yourself and each week do that, I think it's best to kind of avoid that. It gets dragged into some nonsense sometimes, and it's just I couldn't control bad atmosphere. But yeah. It is all about locking it in and just taking control of what you can, control and really working on yourself. And Sam did that massively and went back-to-back champion. A league that I do comp for. I have to put my lot of away over the past couple of months, breaking down one big AERS. But no, yeah, he back-to-back champion. Qualifying brilliant, race brilliant. It's just if Sam's in the mood, and like I said, it's going to be very, very interesting to see where he stacks up for so long. I've seen him kind of dominating the whole race. But let's see what he can do. Here. I'm very, very interested to see where he pans out. And see if there's been any progression from him. I mean, like I said, he wasn't slow the last time I was over him. I know he's been concentrating on taking the assists off and driving without the assist, so he can take part in this for AERT. So yeah, very, very good. Hope him and his family, Julie, his mum, usually Cupid, hope she's well. Hoping all the living family are doing well on this Wednesday. But yeah, Austria, a track that I've never really been, I would say, comfortable at, in fairness. Just always lacked a little bit of pace, I mean, compared to these guys. But no, it's just one of them circuits. I'd race it, but I don't want to race it. So, is weather going to play a part this evening? Weather, we've not had a really wet race, and it'd be interesting to see it here at Austria. I'm mixing up the weather. Schumacher, I'm just looking at the people that are coming into the lobby as we speak. We've got Schumacher there. He had a great race at Australia. But he's had a good race. Polymax had that one. Are we going to see another performance like that? Some of these tracks that the drivers have raced in so far might just not have been the circuit for them, and we could see it getting closer and closer towards the end of the season, where we're seeing some drivers maybe not have the best results, but then they're on top step. We've seen SCI Finley coming into the lobby, and the driver that at Zandvoort picked up an easy win due to Silo and Trap Racer, if I remember correctly, put it together. I think Silo was actually coming for that incident, costing Trap Racer a win, as him and, if I remember correctly, it was Silo and Melwin stayed out on the hard compounder tyres, where the rest of the grid all pitted for softs. Trap Racer was behind the front two. got past Melwin into the downhill right after the downhill right, then it goes left, right, and then like the swooping right into the left. It's like an S. Y'all know where I mean. But and then he tried going for it against Tyler in that final lap, and they came together, and Finley just swooped around the outside. I'll take that victory, no problem. So he's done his part for the SCI team. We've got SCI Emilio in with Finley this evening, so they're driving in the Mercedes. So I know who's who. I'm getting used to it, but I still have like a little thing there. And there he is, Sammy Lewis into the lobby. Let's get into the lobby ourselves, people. Enjoy the view as the lobby fills up. But yeah, I mean, Opzo, we've seen the Ferrari team do really well. Tico, he was unlucky. We've seen, a few unlucky turns for Tico. Really, I think was one of them as well, where he was picked up in a driver losing control, so wasn't really his fault, but it cost him heavily. But two different, I don't think we've seen AMS Eric and AMS Anna. I think I've seen Anna. Microphone is absolutely miles away. Sorry, people, if you've hardly heard me, I do apologise. The microphone was very, very far away. So apologies on that front. Yeah, should be a good race. As I say, gonna be a DRS train, but let's hope we see some battles, some side-by-side action. A lot of opportunity for overtakes. Good evening, everyone. Come on, BRC. How are we doing? Good evening in the chat. Valario. I hope I said that right. In supporting the BRC boys who are in the McLaren. So he's here supporting Matt. And who's his teammate? Of course. It is the one and only Polymac. Can they have another good result? Are we going to see SCI on that top step? Again, I mean, Emilio has got some big boots to fill, as well as Finley with the performances they've been put on as of late from Voller, Snack, Dirk. These drivers really have put on and made, like, Australia, Albert Park was Snack's playground. He drove that track perfectly from start to finish, and then Dirk with Australia, exactly the same. And I tell you what, I think Snacks, probably the standout performance for SCI with the overtakes at Australia that he did. In my personal opinion, I mean, I don't know what everybody else thinks. Voller has had some good overtakes, but I think Snacks for me has really stood out with that performance in Australia. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And if you did miss that, head over to the commentator channel over on YouTube. If you want to watch that back, it was an absolutely brilliant drive. Some great overtakes from him. So, yeah, if you do want to watch any of this season's races back, apart from race 2, I think, because I weren't here, make sure you head over to the commentator channel over on YouTube, and they are all stored on there. So maybe you'll see an overtake of your own on there with me doing the comms over it. But yeah, they're all stored over there. I don't know if YouTube has like ads, so if you do want ad-free viewing, head over to YouTube, people. Otherwise, you'll have to sub, and you don't have to. This is what I enjoy. This is what I love doing. I did it for like about 2 years, Monday to pretty much Sunday, and yeah, really enjoyed my time doing it, and it's been brilliant. and hope you guys enjoy it too. But not long now until we get underway here for round 8 around Austria. 36 short qualifying of 18 minutes, followed by 36 laps. Are we going to see the usual DRS train, or are we going to see plenty of battling going out on track? I think we're just waiting for one more driver as we are running a bit over time. Go on, people, get your predictions in the chat. Who do you think's, potentially going to win this? Is SCI going to be on top? Yes, Jay. 2 DRS trains. Could possibly be. We do usually see that break, but with it being such a short circuit, maybe we could just see one big one, but I get why you're saying that, Jay. And great to see you so coming back every week, seeing this warning. A Mercedes is going to be behind your position. Mine? I don't race. But yeah, we do usually see that break off where we do see two kind of trains battling out for the positions. But yeah, I mean, Mercedes, definitely a team that everybody's going to be keeping an eye on. It's a GT car. All right, but fair play and welcome in. How you doing anyway? Hope you are well. New warning. Oh, Verstappen's car. Oh, it's a beautiful car. Look who's back. Yes, Josh, how we doing? I seen Max racing that car. Absolutely. I think he won the actual race as well, didn't he? Was very close. But he looks comfortable. He looked like he were enjoying it. But yes, Josh, hope you're well. Great to see you in the chat. And the countdown is on, people. We have less than 20 seconds now till qualifying gets underway. Get your prediction in the chat. Who do you think is going to be at that top step at the end of qualifying? Is it going to be an SCI driver, or are we going to see somebody just pull one out the bag and take the top step? I can't hate Watch Cotto. Sorry, Josh. Just hate on somebody else. Just pretend it's Cotto. But here we go, people. Qualifying is coming your way. Caden for Paul. Here we go. Let's go. Grumpy. Satori's racing. So all 20 drivers in. I don't think we have any qualifying bans in the stewards report. But if someone think is early, then you'll know. Hiya Finley. We got Beetle in the chat. Without me, it's boring because no random safety cars. Yes, mate. How's it going, bro? Watch Caden Paul. So Josh is going for Caden Paul. Caden did well last week. Did really well last week. I think he got a top. Was it top 5? So who's going to be first out on the track? I mean, they could be in for a while because it's such a short lap. They don't really need to be heading out on track so quickly. So yeah. What was VNT got a double qualifying back? And we do have action in the pit lane. It is the VCAR team of RSC heading out on the circuit first, and it's Zadine Hadjad out on track first. Leaving the pit lane very, very slowly there. The 1 point off. So VNT You need to take it very, very carefully, the Williams team here this evening. Or they will be on a qualifying ban for round 9. But yeah, I think this is the first time we've seen Hajjad. So let's see what he can do with the lap. Got a few drivers now heading out on the circuit. We've got AERT, Ricky. We've got Tico. Oh, Ricky's not with driving for AERT. Who's Ricky? Hang on. Where the fuck's Ricky's name gone? He's in the B cab. Ah, so he's in the B cab. Silo, yes, Silo, how's it going? Parents is driving. I doubt they won't get a QB next race. RSC. So here we go. Hajjad with the first lap of the evening. Let's see what he can do. IRT. All right, no worries, no worries. Oh, and that's a cheeky bit of a... Oh, that's got to be a bit of a... That definitely would have put Hajjad feeling a bit uneasy there. The Red Bull got very, very close. He's not in a lap. Okay. So he's just taking another bit of a warm-up here. He went miles deep, so right, fair play. Heavy rain in the race. It is 100%. Thank you, Joseph, JSR Joseph, for the follow, as well as Benjamin. Thank you very much, lads, for the follow. Welcome in to round 8. And here we go again on board with the VCAR driver. We'll go back to him, actually. Let's have a look at what Otso's going to do. As he just put a time on the board there, Hajjad, but it will be probably demolished on his next run. But here he comes, the Ferrari driver across the line, and it's a no for the top spot. The two Ferraris currently P1 and 2, a 102.917. What an absolutely blistering time there as Polymac moving into P2. Let's have a look. Where is it? Here he is. Sammy Lewis. I've not seen him on the screen for a while, but here he is. What can the AERT lad do? Come on, Ricky and Matty. There we go. They're all here. All the RSC boys. Can't race a full race. Bloody hell. Might see somebody die tonight. Sammy Lewis. What is the time going to be as he makes his way through turn 9? Only turn 10 to go, people. As he rounds that final corner, it's power down, it's to the line, and Sammy Lewis is a 1:03.182. Goes into P10 just behind his teammate, matching his teammate there. No, Ricky, sorry, not matching his teammate. Going exactly the same as Ricky, a bit confusing with the AERT next to his name, but matching times there from P9 and 10. Let's have a look at Matt as we get AMS Eric to the top. AMS is this their evening, a 1:02.835. Adas down in P15, his teammate, with a 1:03.418. He's got some catching up to do if he wants to be near his teammate. Caden in at P3 with a 1:02.927. Here we go. The BRC racer of Matt. Currently making his way down through turn 7. He goes into turn 8. Hugging that curb. It's like a nice exit. As he makes his way down now to turn 9. And it looks like this is going to be an early, run into the pits. So everybody back into the pit lane. We've got Schumacher out on a lap with, I think, Adas as well. Oh, Adas is actually on a lap. Let's see if he can get anywhere near his teammate on this lap. He only gained a 10th through Sector 1. And the Sector 2 split is between turns 6 and 7. Here it comes as he makes his way down a little bit of a straight. And he's lost time. So that'll be a dash into the pits. Let's jump on board with Schumacher. Now, Schumacher did get a... did he get... Yeah, he did get a podium around Australia. Or was it a P4? I think it was a podium. So, what can he do here? Can he add to his total? Can he get into provisional pole with this lap? He is round turn 10 on his way down to turn 1. Why is a line driver genuinely schooling everybody? But Schumacher making his way up to turn 3. And he's up by just under a 10th of a second. He needs a lot more. He's got to find this time in sectors 2 and 3. SCI not having the greatest qualifying so far. They are out on track, both drivers. Currently P7 and P17. They've got to get it together if they want to keep that SCI flame flying high up at the top. I mean, it's going to take a couple of races for people to catch up, but I mean, in this race. So here comes Schumacher into turn 9. One more corner to go for the OMB driver. It's power down. It's to the line. Has he improved through sections 2 and 3? He has by over half a second there, and it's up into P8. Cracking improvement there, but he still needs a lot if he wants to move up into that top 5. I tell you what, Polymac is having a cracking 2 races. Maybe a bit of luck last time out, but it looks like he's got some pretty decent qualifying pace here. Could put himself in a decent position for the race. Let's have a jump on board with AERT Caden. Silo on it in the chat. Go on, man. So, can Caden improve? Can he move up into pole position? He needs a 10. That's all he needs to take provisional pole. But obviously, the Ferrari boys of AMR, they're going to be wanting to get into the mix. Can AMS in the kick stay on that top spot? Let's find out what Caden can do now. He rounds turn 10 and it's power down and it's across the start finishing line for his second run of the evening here. Let's see what he can do as he makes his way now through turn 1 and it's an invalidation and that's that lap gone. Let's have a look at Polymac. Like I said, no, that's another lap gone. Let's have a look at. He's down just narrowly, but he could gain a lot of time in sectors 2 and 3. Can Otzo now into turn 4, using as much as that curb as he possibly could on the left-hand side of the circuit there to go into turn 4, really opening up turn 4 there. Sector split is up by over a 10th. This is going to be enough for a provisional pole as Hajjad goes into P2, a 102.897, cracking time there from him. But here he comes, Otzo. It's round the final corner. Has he done enough? It's to the line, and it's enough for provisional pole from Otzo. And I'm sure that AMR are absolutely buzzing with that one. Still 7 minutes left in qualifying. Caterpillar up into P3. The track is ramping up. Players now starting to get a hang of this. We've got 6 drivers all in the 1-minute 2s. How many more are we going to see make their way into that as we progress on with qualifying? Let's have a look at Eric. He was on provisional pole. Let's have a look at the sector 1 split. You don't really see anybody really gaining anything through sector 1. It is just literally, well, it's 1 corner. 2's not even, it shouldn't even be classed as a corner. But AMS Eric, he was up in sector 1. Is there any time left in this track? Needs well, about 10th and a half. Oh, he's invalidated there, just over pushing the car and looking for that extra bit of time. Let's have a look at VNT. Romain into turn 4. Looks a bit sketchy, that. Don't know whether he really gained any time there, but we'll see. Once we make the sector 2 and 3 split, it looks like he has. He's backed out of that lap. I think Sammy Lewis is on another run. He's not improving. So no. Oh, we got an OMB driver moving into the top 4 there with nearly a half a second improvement. Milan goes into P4 for 102.893. There are some cracking lap times coming here. There's just 1,000, is it? I think it's 1,000th of a second splitting P5 and P6. I mean, look at how close that is there. I mean, there's just 5,000ths of a second splitting P4, 5, and 6. So their final runs are going to be very interesting. Small gains, big gains. Are they going to be able to make it? But we've got Adas heading out on circuit. Let's see what Adas can do. Got quite a bit to do if he wants to get near his teammate. On a 102.835. We did see him make that mistake between turn 6 and 7, costing him that lap. But he does have that one more run to go. The track will start getting frantic. Are we going to see it as frantic as we did as Australia? Australia was such a frantic end to qualifying. Everybody fighting to get across the line. I think we did actually have maybe 2 or 3 drivers that weren't able to start the final run due to like all the backup of traffic. So Adas needs to improve here. Needs this lap to count. Can he do it? Can he get near his teammate? He needs 0.6 of a second, 0.7 if he wants to have a crack at provisional pole. But he's up by a 10th and a half through sector 1. That's going to help him up the ladder. Still needs a lot more, and I think he's just backed out of that lap there. Looks like he struggled on the exit of turn 3. Back end just stepping out a little bit. Still got some big drivers that really like SCI. This is not what we are used to seeing. P10 and P19 for the SCI boys as we see action in the pit lane. Drivers heading out on circuit. AMS Eric out early. Here we've got Caterpillar. Let's have a look at Caterpillar. We're not watched a lap from Caterpillar as of yet. Currently P3 for FRT. They need this result. I mean, I think me personally, AMR are going to be wanting a P1, P2 to really close that gap, hoping that maybe SCI don't pick up any points here this evening, which could spare AMR on, you know, really give them that kick they need to take the fight to SCI. But these could be the final runs of the evening. Can Caterpillar put a lap together that's good enough for pole position for the race? Here we go, and we'll watch the on-board of Caterpillar for his final run here in qualifying. What can Caterpillar do? Lost some time in sector 1. But as we say, don't really see that many people gaining that much unless they've made a bit of a mistake going through turn 1. Again, using as much of the roll curb on the left-hand side as the car will allow to really open up turn 4. Into turn 6 we go. Get the power down, sector split. He's up narrowly. Is Caterpillar. We've just seen Jaden go into P2. Really getting behind the Haas there. That could have potentially been a bit of a tow. Is that an invalidation? It is from Caterpillar. Caterpillar's lap gone. Let's have a look at Eric. Eric is coming up to the final corner, and it's going to be another goal for Eric. Definitely got the time to do it. Where the ART boys is Caden. Caden revving up for another run, I think, as well. We have to get out of the way of that AMS driver. I think that is Adas. OMB driver there, going through turn 9. Cross the line for turn 10. Right, here we go, Caden. Can you do it? Can you get into the top 3? Let's watch on board as he now makes his way through turn 1. Looks nice and clean. Again, using as much as the curb as you can on the left to open up entry into turn. As we get Smeggy in the chat, how are we doing, Smeggy? We've got Leox in the chat as well. HRT, how we doing? But hiya, Smeggy, how's it going, bro? Glad to see you in. And thank you, Leox, for the follow. Massively appreciated. And here he is, the man himself. It's Voller. He's in the chat, people. All the fans are going to be going wild now for Voller in the chat. But are we going to be going wild for Caden as he rounds turn 10? It's an invalidation. An invalidation. Sammy Lewis sneaks one into P4. Well played by Sammy Lewis. And that is qualifying over. And well done, Sam. Jesus, go on, lad. Oh, Smeggy's going dead. Absolutely brilliant result there for Sam Lewis. A 102.793. It didn't look like it was on the cards, but he really did bring it out when it mattered. And I tell you what, he's not far off, Paul. Look how close it is between, I mean, the top 10. It goes further than that. The top 15 drivers are all within, what? 3/10 of a second. It's just madness, and it shows. I mean, we could see definitely a different people on top. So SCI haven't done the greatest day in Austria. Just isn't the circuit for them. But also taking the plaudits at that top spot with a 102.698. Adrian getting P2. Hadjad getting P3. Sammy Lewis in at P4. Congrats, Sam. Well played, brother. Jaden P5. Eric 6. Caterpillar 7. Milan 8. Ray in at 9. Remain in at 10. Caden is 11. Polymac 12. T-Core 13. Schumacher in at 14. Finley's in at 15. Ricky 16. Phil in at 17. And yeah, that qualifying was absolutely electric, people. As Valerio saying in the chat, and wow. Well, I tell you what, we asked for some bad weather, and it looks like my prayers was answered. I've been waiting all season for this. Is it going to be full wet all the way through? I mean, if anybody does know in the chat, please let me know, as team telemetry is not working for me. I'm going to have to get somebody to have a look at it. But, yeah, always nice to see a bit of wet weather in it, J-Lad. Always nice. We're not blessed with it here on the commentator channel. It's not often we see these wet weather races. But let's hope there's a mixture in strategy. I do hope that it goes like wet to dry, to see like kind of where people fare, like, you know, who gets the pit stops correct, are they doing it at the right time, blah 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 blah. So yeah, very, very interested in this race. Really has spiced it up now, getting the rain involved. Obviously the lap times will slow down somewhat, but who handles the rain the best? Some people absolutely thrive in it. Oh, wet Brazil. Mental, mate. Mental. Yes, EO7, how are we going? How are we doing? But yeah, absolutely cracking qualifying. Some people really going for it at the end there, invalidating on that final run. Really trying to push themselves past the limits just to try and gain that little bit of time, but it cost them in the end. But Sam Lewis, I mean, really did push that car. I mean, what was it? A 103.1, I think was his first run, or 103. Yeah, 103.143, I think it was. And then to drop down to 102.7. I mean, that's some gains. That's some confidence on the lap. Really feeling locked in. And I bet he was. I bet he felt really locked in there. And as I say, it was so close between, you know, a lot of drivers there. Such fine margins to just gain one position, let alone a couple. But no reset, no penalties this time. So no reset, we'll be going straight into the race, boys. I think. I've not seen anything that's nobody's sent out as of yet. Here we go, peeps. We have 5 red lights here for round 8 at AERS, and we are underway. And it looks like also gets a good start off the line. Sammy Lewis up into P3. Got the inside line, good exit. Aston Martin running wide there on the exit. As we've got it all going on under lap 1, but also got a great start. Adrian right behind. There's big contact. The Aston Martin of Jaden going straight on there, taking AMS Eric with him. AMS Eric's qualifying unraveling there due to Jaden's mistake. You can see them all piling up at the back there, just all trying to gain position. As we move down, Finley's having a little look. Look at it. Everybody just fighting position 2 by 2 as they make their way through turn 4 into 5. Now here comes 6. Finley managing to gain P9, gaining a position, but look at how hectic it just looks at the back here. As they're all just trying to get to the grips with this wet weather. The front 3 have absolutely blasted away from the rest of the pack. They now have a 1.1 second gap, 1.2 going up to 1.3 to the rest of the grid. There's Otto there with the quickest lap on 121.817, but we will see quicker than that as we see a car that looks like a dangerous re-entry there from, I think it was the B car of Ricky. As Ricky gets past Matt Matt down in P17. Where's Polymac? Polymac down P13. SCI boys, they've only got one driver in a really good position, and that is Finley. Can Finley do a bit of magic from P9? Try and get up to that stop set. As we see Caden there, throwing it down the inside against Romain. And as he got the move done, and there's a bit of backup of traffic here, as AMS Eric has got Caden all over the back of him. Caden down the inside, as Eric does have damage. There's damage to the kick Sauber of Eric, and that sees AERT into 2 cars in the top 5. And I mean, rub your eyes, people. I think it's the first time this season that we're seeing this from the drivers of AERT, and they're doing well so far. We're only 2 laps into this race, but Caden looks like he's got the pace over Eric. Eric's got big damage, and this gives the opportunity for Caden to pull away, build a gap, and then just concentrate on his own race. Build the gap, then settle in. Top 3 just all settling in behind one another. Could be all about strategy now. It's all in the mind. F1, once you get on, you know, then 5 red lights go out, everything's going for your head. Especially if this race goes to dry conditions. Yet to hear anything in the chat whether we are going to see that, but the rain does look quite heavy, so it does look like it's in for the foreseeable future. But Otzo out in front, looking calm, cool and collected. But the rest of the pack, it was a frantic start. Sammy Lewis may have made a bit of a mistake, which has cost him a bit of lap time there. Just dropping out of range from the front 2 as Adrian taking the fastest lap. We've got Polymac, just took 2 positions, or as Finley's into the pits. And what's up with Finley? Are we going to be seeing a new front wing on the SCI driver's car? And it is a new front wing. And I think SCI's run of excellent results is going to be over here at Austria, with so far both drivers being in the bottom 5. I think we've got Caterpillar trying to attack Eric here. Eric trying to defend, but with that bit of his wing missing, it just makes Eric's night much harder. And you can see there, he is fighting this tooth and nail. He does not want to lose P6, and it's costing the drivers in behind him massively. It's giving Caden just free air to move into. Tyres, yep, of course. As if we all didn't know, but all inters. I think even if this was, which the rain does look quite heavy, which does, you know, for me, probably would have put the drivers on the full wets, but we all know that the full wets are absolutely dog on this game. Oh, was Eric there, back end stepping out massively on the exit of turn 1, and now that has given Caterpillar some emphasis to try and get this move done. He doesn't want to be held up any longer. Side by side they go into turn 3. Can Caterpillar get a good exit here and get away from the kick Sauber and try and get in front of him so he's not held up even more through the more demanding on the tire, like sector 2. And Caterpillar going for it down the inside here. Eric just trying to shut the door somewhat there. And this is a dogfight. Caterpillar really wants past. He knows that, you know, Eric's pretty much holding him up with this damage. As they are now, if that's correct, they are 6 seconds adrift from Caden, who is in P5. And Caden just needs to take this one nice and easy, nice and easy. He's in his own race now, as he does, taking it nice and easy and locks in with the fastest lap of the race so far, a 1:16.773 there. Yeah, I think he's definitely got the pace to catch Ray. He is closing up to the back of the VNT driver. And could this be the night where we see a 3-4 for AERT? It's looking good so far. Caterpillar and Eric once again battling it out. Eric is putting on the defense of a lifetime here, people. If you want to defend, this is how you do it. He's done it quite cleanly so far, managing to stay in front of Caterpillar. Caterpillar's just been struggling on the exits. But Eric is really putting on one hell of a drive here to hold off a driver that doesn't have damage. He's putting that car in all the right places, which is really frustrating. A Caterpillar, I bet it's absolutely frustrating. Everybody sat behind them. They know they've probably got that little bit more pace, but they can't go for it because Caterpillar can't even get past Eric. So we'll just wait and see, people. The wear on Eric's tyres is going to be that little bit more with that added damage. Hi Leox, how are you doing? How are you doing? Here goes Caterpillar again with the send down the inside into turn 3. Has he got the better exit this time round? Has he got the pace to stay in front of Eric down to turn 4, both using ERS here? Once again, Caterpillar having to go down the inside, and very well, thank you Leox, very, very well, enjoying this race, enjoying these battles, but the defense from Eric has got to end, and Eric down the inside again. Contact. This is really spicing up the race, and we're only on lap 7. And all the actions being held in this middle pack. The Haas of Milan going round the outside of Caterpillar. Caterpillar dropping positions here. I mean, Eric's that throw into Grumpy uses race Texas or Las Vegas. Oh, I mean, I'm not saying Eric isn't good by any means. He's put on one hell of a drive, hell of a defense, and he's still defending that P6 position. He does now have a time penalty, but the gap, Caden really is, and I think Caden's going for the move, and Caden down the inside into turn 4, and now swoops past, and it's P3 and 4 for AERT. And I'm sure the AERT boys in the chat are going to be loving that one. Have that race, says Nat. As we get Romain past Eric. Otzo just banging in fastest lap after fastest lap after fastest lap. That's 2 fastest laps in a row. Sammy Lewis, I mean, he could keep up in the beginning, but has since then just dropped back nearly a 3-second gap. But it puts him, you know, he's in the right place. He can just race his own race. This is good practice for him. So keep going, Sammy. Keep your head down. And the podium is on the cards, my son. We'll see you back on that top step. But ART and VNT having a good result here. 3-4, and then VNT 5 and 6. The SCI boys still down in the bottom 5. But Otzo looking like this is probably one of his more favoured tracks. Building a gap to Adrian, who's in P2. Adrian is trying to close that gap, get it back under that second, but he is pulling away. Goal Sam says Micah in the chat. I'm sorry, if is it that Michaela? Sorry if I botched your name. Yes, it is. Hello, Michaela. How are you doing? Come on, Sammy Lewis. But yeah, also really enjoying this circuit so far. How's Eric doing with his defense of his position? He just seems to allow people to like build a gap and then holds on. But he's having a cracking drive, is Eric. I mean, that defense that he put against Caterpillar was absolutely brilliant, and he's doing it time and time again. Yeah, holding on to the position, putting the car in the right places. Yeah, Caden's even catching, like, he's catching here and there. And you see the OMB driver and Schumacher really trying to go for that move. And Schumacher gets it done. Maybe a slight bit of wheel locking there on the exit of turn 4, but he's got to go round the outside now into turn 6 if he wants this position. Also going even quicker once again at 1 minute 14.809. And Caterpillar has gone from battling for P6 to now outside the top 10, and we're seeing people into the pits already. That is Tico into the pit lane for AMR, and it's an early one. Lap 11, but I tell you what, go Eric, go Eric. What a drive he's putting on, man. Cheating his own comment. English. Oh, the last do it in the chat. Adrian now with the fastest lap, really trying to close that gap to Otso at the front, showing Otso that he does have the pace. And there's Caden, and he is flying. He really has closed that gap to Sammy Lewis, who currently holds on to P3. But how long is he going to have that P3 for? Because Caden really is putting pedal to the metal and trying to catch his teammate here. Are we going to see an AERT battle for that final podium position? Or is somebody going to call team orders? Is Sammy going to get the message? Caden is quicker than you. Please be fast. Maybe Sam had a bit of a mistake. He's kind of holding that time down now to 2.7, 2.8. But let's move on to where all the action is, and wherever Eric is, that's where the action will be here at Austria. Two, 5, 5, Jesus Christ. R.I.P. Ricky, you train our... Where is Ricky? Ricky down in P50. And if this one of his favourite tracks is not looking good for the rest of his time racing, this is one of his circuits. Well, his favourite circuits, let's say. Side by side, Eric once again going through another corner, and it looks like Schumacher might have the position, but we know Eric, he doesn't give them up easy. He's fighting this one back as they go into turn 4. He's pretty much drifting that kick Sauber in front of the Haas, and manages to hold on to P7 once again. Wow. Caden with the fastest lap once again taking half a second out of Sammy on that lap. Well, more, nearly 7/10. He really is pushing to try and catch his teammate. Check back in with him when he gets close. We've got Phil into the pits for IRT. Penalties rolling in now. Jaden with a penalty. We've got a Das with a penalty. Ricky's got a penalty. Phil's got a penalty. As they now make their way down to turn 4. Is Eric going to feel any pressure from Schumacher? I mean, OMB having another good result here. P8 and 9 currently. Oh, as I say that, Schumacher nearly loses the car. And his teammate goes swooping through. And Adas also getting past. We've got two teams battling it out for P7 here. We've got AMS. And we have ONB. And I think with his performance already from Eric, as he picks up, and that's got to be 6 seconds of time penalties now for Eric for defending. Little bit of wheel banging there as they make the run to turn 1. Milan has the inside line, and it looks like that's the position gained. As Eric getting all out of shape there, lets his teammate through easily to allow Adas to try and, attack Milan. And Eric trying to hold off Schumacher. This battle continues between the pair. We've seen this previously. Is Schumacher going to try and switch for the inside line? He does. Eric, though, just leaving enough room. Schumacher down the inside. Can he get the power down? Can he get past Eric? Eric still defending. Trying to hold on to as many positions as he can here. Only a slight 35 seconds off the lead. Yeah, just through all that battle. I mean, Romain is 20 seconds off the lead himself. And Sam Lewis has decided to pit. Caden moves up into P3. As we get Jordan in the chat, has Eric considered not losing 25 plus seconds? Probably not. He's just considering defending that position. I tell you what, he's done a cracking job, but he has cost the grid heavily. Heavily in that defense. So, are we going to see Caden into the pits? Looks like he's making the move, and it is. It's Caden into the pit lane now. Trying to undercut. Mind you, it'd have to be a massive undercut on Adrian and Otzo. Will Sam Lewis come out in front of his teammate? Sam with a 3-second time penalty. The buffer that they had should be all right with that 3-second time penalty, but doesn't want to be picking up any more. But I think he just has handed his teammate that P3. The final podium spot will probably go to Caden as he comes out right behind Sammy as well. Is Sam going to make this easy, or is he going to try and fight it and hold on to that position? There's Michaela in the chat saying shoot. Hey Michaela, it's still a good race from him. It's still a good race from him. He's still doing well. He's still going to bring home some good points for the AERT boys. As we get Julie in the chat. Here she is. How we doing, Julie? How's it going? Seen Julie for a bit. What's Josh saying? Trust, please. What's the please for? I have, Julie. I have indeed let him go. Yeah, I mean, let Caden go. I think, yeah, I think Sam. Yeah, I think that's probably the best bet. Yeah, yeah. But Julie, I have missed you. Nah, the rain hasn't stopped, Jay. The rain hasn't stopped. Hey, Michaela. I miss my Julie, I do. Not been about for a bit. Lost a second. Okay. But I mean, the pace that Caden showed, let's hope that, you know, can we see him potentially get onto the back of, you know, he might even get out in front. Will he get out in front? Yeah, I mean, in fairness, yeah. Team points, stuff like that, the 3-second time penalty, yeah. And I think that's where it comes with, like, more races, that maturity. Oh, lucky. And if they do have a race engineer, then they should have all been in a chat together. That's just common dog. Bro, let them race. I mean, Caden showed some really quick pace. But I get what you're saying. I mean, you don't want to lose the position, but when it's a team event and every point matters for the team, that could have, you know, maybe not letting them through could have gone a different way. So, but yeah, Julie, how you doing, darling? I hope you're well. And hello, Mr. Lewis, if you are watching. I mean, safety car brings Caden right back into this. And potentially fighting for a podium because, as I say, he's shown some cracking pace. And there we go. And Sammy Lewis picking up the fastest lap of the race. The 1:13.398. Them lap times will be going down. I think they will be beat once Otso and Adrian enter the pits and get on that fresh rubber. Let's have a look where Eric is. Where's our Eric? Oh, he's not. I mean, he's in no man's land now. He was the man that was giving all the entertainment, everything. And now, it's just not there. He's in his own little world now. Is our Eric down in P19? Otso and Adrian are gonna have to make some moves. Not too many, but I mean, it's gonna be pretty. Like, Caden he's going for it. He's gunning for a better position than P3. You can see the determination in him with the fastest laps, one after another. We got Milano going past Milan, sorry, now up into P6 for OMB. Still got 3 drivers, no, 6 drivers yet to pit. No, 8. Sorry, I'm trying to do quick maths. As we got Rayan in the chat. How we doing? Welcome in, Rayan. Thank you for joining us. Looks like everybody knows Rayan. Nice to meet you. Yeah, Milan for OMB in a pretty decent position. Caden is on the charge. Just lap after lap after lap, getting quicker and quicker and quicker. I think if qualifying would have got a bit better for Caden, would it have been validated on at the exit of turn 10, or was it through turn 9? He definitely. I'm not saying Sam's slow by any sense of the mean. He did a great job trying to stay with the front two, but Caden just looks like he has that extra pace compared to Sam in this one. Arriba. So Caden, once again, another fastest lap. He's just getting quicker and quicker as Caden. As Ray has gone into the pits. Now, let's see what fresh tyres do for him. He comes out just 2.2 seconds off the back of Sammy Lewis. He will have that lap where he needs to get the temperature up in them tyres, but already... Oh no, I thought he was already breaking into it. A few more drivers into the pits. Also now pits. Where will Otto come out? Good. Technically, about still in the lead of this race, I think. I think he is going to do... Yep, he comes out and maintains the lead of this race to Adrian. Adrian in P2. And Caden has really closed the gap to Adrian. Adrian will start to pull away again with the fresher tyres, but Caden really is in hot pursuit trying to catch that front two. I think just with that early pit stop and the pressure tyres being on the front two now, it's just going to be P3 for Caden, which is very unfortunate. Forcing Bray off track then. Tico down in P9. We've still got Matt out and, well, Finley pitted early, didn't he? He's on 20 lap old tyres now, but Matt still yet to pit. Caden quicker again at 12.909 for Caden. Matt now in at P8. We're going to see him into the pits, and nope, continues on. Yeah, just unfortunate for Sam having that penalty. Let's have a look at the penalties. So yeah, it's 3 seconds. Eric's on 9 seconds, and I'm sure quite a bit of that will be picked up by Matty. Has already pitted. He will try to go to the end. That's going to be a big ask. Tico's right on his ass, as well as Milan. Schumacher's also joining that party as well. Is he got the defence of Eric? That's what we've got. That's what we're going to have to look at. Is that? Oh, I think Sammy just knowing there that Ray with them fresher tyres is going to get through. Doesn't put up too much of a fight there. As we get the V-carb being lapped there. But yeah, Sammy picking his fights there. Knew that Ray was on much fresher tyres. And there's no point trying to hold on to a position. Let's have a look if we've got any more battles going on. Polymac got P2 last week, people. P2, and it shows like the differences in racing. Now finds himself P12 in a battle for P11 with IRT. Phil is going down the inside, is Polymac. Phil round the outside. Should have the better exit, and he does. And Polymac, is he going to look to try and go for the move again into turn 4? We stay on board with the pair. As Polymac has a little cheeky look there, but nothing showing. We've got AMS Adas and Caterpillar, who was fighting for P6 so many laps ago now, but now finds himself battling it out for P13 and gets past Adas. We've still got Phil and Polymac at it as well, up at the front, a bit further down the course. Caterpillar has got Adas, Ricky, Eric, the king of the defense. He shall be known for, known as moving forward. Eric in P16. Also, he's good. I mean, if he had brilliant pace with half a wing, pretty much. But just doesn't. And as I say, he's going for a move, and what a move it is! Bit of contact from Ricky under braking, but Eric moves up into P15 behind his teammate as we get Polymac and Phil at it once again. Polymac gets the move done though. This time moves up into P11. Only 1 lap difference in tyres between the pair. That battling has helped him a bit. Schumacher is all over the back of Matt. He will know that he's got fresher tyres compared to Matt. And Matt, I think allowing him through there, knows that the more he fights, the more he's just going to allow people to get onto the back of him. So best to let the drivers through with the fresher tyres. But when being a good spot here though, with Milan on 5 lap old tyres. He's in behind Tico, battling for P7. And Tico really looking to defend and hold on to this position as they make their way up to turn 4. It's side by side into turn 4 they go. Milan with the fresher tyres. Can he get him on the exit? Bit of contact there, but Tico holds on to the position. Are we going to see this fight continue into turn 4? He's got to go all the way around the outside. Tico defending, holding on to P7 for a little bit longer. And Sammy Lewis with the fastest lap of the race of 1:12.332. Brilliant lap there from the young American. Finley with the 3-second time penalty. SCI. I mean, people clip it and ship it. This is something that we are not used to at all. The season has looked brilliant so far for SCI, but here at Austria, is this the point where we see SCI kind of falter? Is this going to be the race that kind of sets the tone for the rest of the season for SCI? Let's hope not, as they've had an absolutely superb start to this season. As we get a bit more battling going on at the front, Caterpillar and Phil now in a bit of a battle. Caterpillar trying to get the move done, trying to get into P12. He does, gets the move done, and now he's trying to chase down Polymac. And he's got a 8 lap tyre offset to Polymac. So can we see Rev potentially get back up into that top 10? As Milan has got Tico and Schumacher for company, currently battling for P7. But Sam has a nice, decent buffer. P5. Yes, Swifty. How's it going, lad? Just a bad qualifying, and Finley had to go in early due to damage. Qualifying didn't go the greatest for him, and yeah, it's just kind of unravelled from there. Finley with the fresher tyres could potentially fight some positions back in these closing 6 laps, but yeah. Oh, Caden, the work that this lad's been putting in. The tyre offset that, you know, that he has to Adrian. There's some 6-lap difference, but he is right there with Adrian. Why are we on your age of time? I mean, Matty is doing absolutely brilliant with those tyres. Don't potentially. I mean, he could probably go to the end, but are we going to see a puncher from Matt? Probably a bit unlikely, but what a job he's done so far. Nearly, he's going to take these tyres pretty much the whole race. Yeah, Sammy, lucky, he's only got that 3-second time penalty. But a nice, generous buffer between himself and Romain, who's in P6. But I'm sure Sam will be proud of his drive. Yeah, may have been a couple of mistakes. The pace might not quite have been there with the top 4. But he has put on one hell of a drive, and I'm sure the AERT boys will be proud of both Caden and Sam at the end of this one if they can continue to hold on to P3 and 5. I mean, Caden looking like he's almost set for a battle for P2 here, but Adrian could have the advantage, obviously, with the tyre offset. That 6-lap difference could just keep him in that P2 position on that final lap, which I'm sure that Caden is revving up for and trying to just preserve the tyres for a little bit until that last lap, and then give them their all in that final lap. But yeah, what an evening this has been for SCI. One to forget so far for Finley and Emilio here at Austria. Eric battling it out in the background with Jaden. As they go side by side now, down to turn 4. You can see them going side by side a bit further on. That's Finley and Adas. As I think Eric getting a slight bit of contact there from Jaden, but down the inside he goes, and he's going to let that car float out, doesn't he? No, he leaves just enough room. As they are, why is this camera so bad? I would have loved to have seen that battle then there, but the camera just didn't want to give it us. Emilio now is getting into this. First time we've seen anything of Emilio in this race. Not been the best for him. Qualified, I think, P18, and has stayed in and around there. It's been a bit of a quiet one for SCI at Austria. No Voller, no Silo, no Snack, no Dirt. I wonder if they sat there disappointed. Nah, I'm only joking. We've got Adas and Matt still battling it out. Couple of laps to go, people. I tell you what, this this one seems like it's absolutely flown by, even with the wet conditions. But yeah, Otzo, this has been his playground this evening. Great start to the race, great qualifying, and has just not looked back since. Has just kept going, just kept plodding on. He's had the space to know that it's his race. He can just, you know, take it, control the pace at the front. Just getting a bit of water over the tyres that are cooling them down a little bit, maybe. But yeah, Caden, he was in and around there for potentially a P2, but Adrian has just had the better grip going through these corners and slowly but surely has built that gap now to 2 seconds. And I think you're looking at your top 3 right here, with Ray coming in at P4 and Sammy P5. Tico has got Schumacher and Rev Caterpillar right behind him. We could see a battle for P7 on this final lap. I'm going to try and keep an eye on the track map as best as I can to keep an eye on... Oh, he's so far ahead. Is Otzo. And he is going into the final lap of the race, just rounding turn 10 as we speak. So Otzo making his way into the final lap, where his teammate is defending still on lap 35 to try and hold on to P8, as we've got Caterpillar and Schumacher battling it out. And this is a close one. Bit of contact on the exit of turn 4. As Rev and trying to keep an eye on Otzo, to be honest. We can come back to this battle as they still have, you can see, I mean, Otzo's only a couple of corners away from this actual battle. But let's move on to the man himself. An absolutely astonishing qualifying from this gentleman. A 102.698, I think it was, for pole position. He's even just put in the fastest sector 2, sorry. But he's made this track his playground here this evening. He's looked unstoppable from start to finish. It's going to be Otzo for AMR across the line, and he wins the race at Austria, with Adrian getting a respectable P2 there. What happened to Caden? Caden Puncher! Which has cost him P3. Ray comes across the line in P3 for VNT. And I think Sammy is going to actually get Caden here. Sammy comes across the line in P4. Caden needs to get across the line. He's got Romain coming round turn 10. Caden, can he make it across the line? He can. He gets P5. It could have been P4, but picked up a puncher on the final lap of the race. Where is Matt? Did Matt DNF'd? So Matt must have crashed somewhere with a double puncher. Yes, Gotto, the legend, in the chat. But that was a great race with some great battling. And it's Otzo, the man of the hour here at Austria. It's been brilliant. It's been brilliant. It's been some good battling, some good racing. We've seen one hell of a defence. I mean, Gotto, you need to watch Eric's defence back, mate, from the beginning in the first stint. Absolutely brilliant. Cost the grid heavily in the pursuit. But honest to God, he put on one hell of a defence. Trying to hold on to his position, but just couldn't in the end. But yeah, really good race there from Otzo. Congratulations to AMR on a brilliant result here. With also taking a P1. Unfortunate for AERT, could have been a podium. But Caden picking up that puncher on the final lap. Most overtakes goes to Finley. The race winner is also, he got the fastest lap. And his teammate takes home driver of the day. As we get Daddy 007. Adrian, yeah, really good pace. Very, very good pace. But there is your results for the evening. Few people with time penalties. As we say, the defense from Eric really did split the pack massively. And I think AERT might look at the laps where Caden was behind Sammy Lewis. That could have, I mean, would it have? Because, I mean, Caden was pushing and pushing. I think that's what cost him in the end with that last lap. It cost him heavily because he was the only one to pick up a puncher apart from Matt, who really did. I mean, Matt took them tyres way longer than Sam. I mean, not Sam, than Caden, and still didn't get a puncher. So what Caden did to them tyres, God knows. But yeah, there is another absolutely brilliant race here at AERT. We've seen an old face getting the top 5. That is Sammy Lewis. Sammy, congratulations, brother, on that top 5. Very, very proud of you. Well done. Yeah, and what a brilliant race once again here this week. It's been brilliant every week. We've seen obviously some side by side. We've seen some a memorable defense from Eric that will live on in the memory of probably one of the defenses of the season. Just holding people up and trying to hold on to that P6 for as many laps as he did against Caterpillar was absolutely astonishing. So GG to Eric, who I think personally, I mean, I know he didn't really get in a good position because he had to have that wing change, but just going off like that defense, he's my personal driver of the day easily. Like, that was one hell of the show that he put on to hold up them drivers, caused a massive gap between the pack, and I think it was the top 5 initially. So yeah, absolutely. But that is going to be all from me this evening. Thank you very, very much for joining me here on the commentator channel once again for the AERS Championship. SCI losing points this evening, AMR gaining points, AERT 2 in the top 5. Come on, boys. That's going to be all from me, people. Thanks so much again for joining me. Thank you to all the drivers that turned up and put on one hell of a show. Without you guys, it wouldn't be what it is. Until next time, make sure you join us next week for round 9 here at AERS. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and good night.